Hello, my name is Andrew Smith and I am homeless. I have nowhere to stay other than sofa surfing from the odd friend here and there, but cannot stay there constantly due to them having children and having their own problems, and with it coming up to Christmas as well. I have problems of my own as well, which I am trying to cope with at the moment. I am currently trying to get through with the bond board, where they're helping me. Where when I first started and applied for the bond board, they put me down as 8th on the list to try to get somewhere to stay. Now I'm down to 3rd on the list, and I'm just waiting now, hopefully trying to get somewhere before Christmas. I have met this lovely lady who's doing this interview now with me, and I am not just saying this for the sake of her being stood with me, but she has been so kind and so generous for me. And when I've seen her in the past, she has been exactly the same, and I could not wish to meet a better lady than what I have met at the moment. She is very, very kind, and the person that you have got working for you is the type of people that you need working for you at the moment, because people like myself need people like the lady that is helping me at the moment. She has done so much for me. I've had so much trouble in the past with my parents, with my mother having to remarry to my stepfather as my real father passed away when I was a bit younger. And as he passed away, my mother remarried, and I have 5 brothers and sisters, and with me being the oldest, my stepfather tended to look down on us not being his children, and with me being the oldest, I've stood up for my younger brothers and sisters, and he didn't like that, and my mother was in 2 minds of whether to stick up for me being her firstborn, or the guy who she remarried, who's the father to my 2 younger brothers and sisters. So, and I don't like seeing my mother like that, so I've had to move out and became homeless. I moved into the Salvation Army in Rochdale, which currently got knocked down not long ago, and now from there I moved on to another place called Redfern House. I had a little bit of trouble in there. I have epilepsy, I have problems this way and that way that I don't know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen at all.
So where are you staying at the moment, Andy?
At the moment, I have problems. There's an hostel that I try to stay, and they charge £11.50 a night, £20 for 3 nights, or £50 for the week for the full 7 days. I hate paying the £11.50 for the night when I know I only need another £8.50 to make it free, another 2 nights to make it the 3 nights.
And how do you make your money?
I have to sit down. There's a bank not far behind. I will stand here in front of you. Where I stand here, there's a bank here, the NatWest Bank over at the back there. I normally sit on the floor. If you come a little bit nearer towards me, you can see these people walking past over there. I normally sit on the floor there, and as people walk up and down past, people tend to stop and help me and give me a bit of change here and there. And as they do, I let it mount up until I get enough for somewhere to stay at that place. And when I do get somewhere to stay at that place, then, like I said, I prefer the 3 nights. That way I don't have to come out at all during the day. And when the weather's getting to what it is at the moment, then I don't want to come out during the day. I'd rather stay in and just watch TV and have warm drinks all day.
So where do you stay when you've not got enough money?
When I don't have enough money, there's a college over at the back. That's a police station over there, where them blue lights are, blue Christmas lights, as you see. Behind that, that's where the police station is. Behind that is a college, and as the college is there, round the outside of the college is a wall, and it goes right round, apart from the 4th part behind it. And where the wall is, as you look at, it's about 6 foot high, the wall, but as you look over the wall, it drops down and it's about 8 foot or something, maybe 9 foot, it drops down. And as you drop down into it, above you comes above as well, so if the rain's coming this way towards, then it stops and goes, you don't feel the rain because it goes right over and away from you. But if it's coming towards you, because it's like 8 foot, 9 foot down, if it comes towards you, it tends to come across, hit the wall, and then just leak down. So you don't actually feel the rain coming down on top of you. But the thing is, I have a sleeping bag and a quilt thing, and there's a couple of other friends who are in the same situation as what I am, who I have met through being in the situation that I am in. And they stay there as well. Sometimes they don't make as much money because I don't like saying this, but I have a bit more guts than they do, in a way where they don't like it and they can't bring themselves to actually sit on the street and beg. Whereas I know that if I don't, I'm going to be sleeping there every night. The only way I can sleep at that hostel place I was telling you about is by doing that. I do get benefits, but my benefits don't cover it all the time. I only get so much and it only pays for so many days, but then I have to sit back out and make enough to stay, for somewhere else to stay. Other than that, it's a case of behind there's a caretaker who works in the college. I said, and he's so kind. What it is he comes out in the mornings and says, as long as we don't leave a mess behind, he doesn't mind us staying. And he takes our stuff in for us. He ties our quilts up in the bags in a knot, takes it in the mornings before the tutors come in. And then when all the tutors leave in the evening, he'll come out, but before he leaves, and he puts it back out for us into the corner, a quiet corner, and leaves it there for us until the morning after.
And what's it like to be homeless, Andy?
Oh, what's it like? Oh, that's an hard one. It's not good at all, especially getting to this time of year, especially. With the weather being as it is so difficult, especially when you see people, and I know it's not their fault, I know it's in a way my own fault, the way it's gone my way, they've gone their way, whatever, but when I see people so happy and with children, I said, and when I see people walking past and I see them with their children having such a great life or whatever, I get so jealous sometimes, and I do actually well up in my own eyes and feel upset, and I so much want to be in that life. So I'm trying at the moment, I just can't wait to get back to having my own flat so I can settle down. I'll tell you the truth, I'm hoping to meet a girl once I have my own place. I'm hoping to meet a girl who already has her own young child. I'm not saying that I want some girl to split up with her boyfriend who already has a child, but if that did happen, I'd love to be the person to meet the girl who has a child so I could grow up with them as a family myself and try to live that life. I'm 42 years old now, and I'd love to just settle down and be that way and live. I mean, I used to be a joiner when I was younger. I was a joiner for years when I was younger. I had problems. I hurt myself. My hand, I had problems. That's my normal hand, as you see. That thumb is normal, but this thumb, it's just gone, and as you see, it's just totally twisted and it's out, it's totally come out. I have had operations on it, scars, twice I've had operations on it, where, whether you can see through the camera, I don't know, but I've had 2 operations on it, and it just will not heal. It just stays wherever I put it. and I can't. That's the trouble that I had, and that's what stopped me from carrying on being a joiner. I used to only be a labourer, but I wish I could stay. I wish I could have stayed at that stage, at that time, because now I know I'd have been in a situation where I'd have had a labourer working for me. So, and that's what upsets me as well, because I constantly have these thoughts of what if, and it hurts to me. It hurts me to think about it, although it's hard not to think about it when I see other people enjoying their life, especially when I get people who say to me, and they see me in the predicament that I'm in, and they walk past me, and they give me a mouthful of gibberish, calling me this and calling me that, and not knowing the life that I've been through, and they give me the grief this way and that way, and that hurts even more, knowing that I know that if they knew what I've been through, they wouldn't say or talk to me the way that they did, and if they'd been through the same as what I'd been through, they wouldn't think twice about talking that way or having someone talk to them that way.
So what's been the worst experience for you being homeless?
There's been many. One most recent one, I think I might have mentioned, I'm not sure. When I sit down and I try to get enough money for somewhere to stay, I keep the money. When people give me the money, the change, spare change, I keep the silver and the pound coins, I put that in a pocket and keep the copper in my hand.
Why is that then? Why do you do that?
For the reason being is, previously before that, is I used to just keep it in my hand what people gave me. I keep it, and one day 2 young Asian lads walked past me, and as they walked past me, one of them turned on and said, "Are you homeless, mate?" And I've gone, "Well, yeah, that's why I'm sat here, pal." I said, "I've nowhere to stay. I'm trying to get enough money to get myself in a hostel for the night, or maybe for a few nights." And he said, "And what have you got so far?" And when I went like that, and I held my hand out, and he had some change, he went, "Here you go, mate." And one of them held a £5 note out in his hand to give to me. And I've gone, "Oh, thank you." And I've held my hand up with all the change in, and I think he had about £14 or something in my hand. I held my hand up for him and to give me the £5. But as I put my hand up, he's kicked my hand from underneath. Kicked my hand, the money's gone out everywhere. Him and his mate started laughing. We ran all over, both picking all up the pound coins on 50p's. And there was a lady, an elderly lady, she must have been about 65, 70-year-old, pushing easily. And she got out trying to fight them off me. Leave them alone, what's he done for you? And in the end, I'm trying to stop them from giving her grief, or from her to giving them grief. Yeah, leave it, love, you know what I mean? And eventually they ran off laughing, and I just found a few pounds left on the floor, and that was it. But I've had other problems.
Is that what happened a few weeks ago then?
Yeah, that was just a few weeks, less than a month, but just a few weeks. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a few weeks. And that's sat there outside that bank there.
So what would having your own place mean to you?
Well, put it this way. I had my own place then. If I got my own place today and you came and spoke to me 12 months from now, you wouldn't recognise me.
What would be different?
Not in the slightest would you recognise me. One, obviously, I know this might just sound daft, but obviously I'm going to be clean shaven properly and everything, yeah? Right? Which is easy enough to do now anyway, yeah? But the thing is, I would be so much better, because the life that I'd be living would be so different. I would be settled down, and I know I would, because I'd make sure that I'd be settled down with a girl that I want, hopefully with a child, like I said I would love, you know what I mean? And I just wouldn't be. I mean, I think my mannerisms would be different as well. It's just because the people who, at the moment, the situation that I am living in at the moment, I'm tending to associate with people who are in a similar situation, which makes it hard to get out of, because as I am seeing them day in, day out, I'm seeing them again the day after, and then it's the same again, and then seeing them the day after, and it's the same again, and this and that, and this and that, and it just doesn't change. Whereas I knew that if I had my own place and I knew I was settled down proper, I wouldn't have to associate with not calling these people, because I'm in their situation now at the moment, not calling them whatsoever. But I know that if I did have my own place, then I would tend to distance myself from them as much as I could, knowing that if I carried on associating with them, I myself, would find it hard to get away from that situation. It started when I used to use drugs a while ago. I'd used drugs for a long time, and then I had a fight with somebody who had trouble with my sister. He beat my sister up, and I ended up sticking up for my sister, and ended up having a fight with a lad. Ended up hurting him and getting some time in prison because of it. And the time I was in prison, when I came out of prison, I hadn't had drugs for that long. When I came out, it was over. And I stuck to it myself to stay away from the people that, not blaming these people, but stay away from the people that I was associating with before I went to prison. Knowing that in my own head, that if I carried on associating with them when I came out of prison, they're probably still in the same situation. So I'd probably end up carrying on that way. And it's the last thing I wanted. But now I've come to this because of other problems that I had.
So what would you say to people who think twice about giving money to homeless people because they think they're going to spend it on drugs or alcohol?
That's a tough one as well. Make sure that the people that you are giving the money to, the people that you are helping, how would I put it? If people start by helping them in your own way first, without cash. Start that way and see the response you get from the person. See how they speak back to you for the help that you are giving them. And do it that way. And because if you just go to automatically go up and give them money automatically, then who wouldn't be happy if someone come up and give you some money for nothing? They're just going to be, thank you, oh, thank you, and very kind, this, that and the other. But if you go up and help them out in another way, and they show you their appreciation or whatsoever, then in my eyes, I think that's how you'll know that they're in a way where they do respect and they do appreciate the help that you are giving them. And also people as well who, when you sat there, if you walk past a beggar, if you sat there, people who you pass who don't ask constantly, if you just sit there and just hope that people will help them in the way that they can. But if you get people as you're walking past who constantly ask for money, which is begging obviously, who constantly ask, then obviously they're there, obviously they want the money for something, maybe it is for somewhere to stay, but I think myself, the people who constantly ask, especially when they're asking the same people again and again and again, I think myself that they're asking for other things than somewhere to stay or food or things like that. As well as when you get people who go like that, sorry, I've got no change, and they walk past, and when they come back and they give you a warm drink and something to eat or something, and you get people who go like that to them and say things like, because I've seen people say it before to people, say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate this, but I'd have appreciated if you give me the money instead, because I could have used that to spend on blah 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 blah, whatever it is, whatever they're trying to say they was going to spend it on, rather than thank you very very much. And that's what they want, and something to eat. They want a warm drink because they are cold, and you know what I mean. It's just showing you appreciation, and if you don't get the appreciation from somebody, then in my eyes, I think they're just there for one thing.
Okay, so coming back to you then, if you do get your own accommodation, your own place, in terms of employment, then what are your views on getting a job or?
Right, well, at the moment, I don't know if you've heard of Riverside.
Yeah.
There's a place called Riverside. Go over the back where the job centre is at the side here, at the end there on the right hand side. Behind over there, there's a place called Riverside, and they help you with housing and with employment. And I have an appointment on the 15th, I had an appointment on the 8th. I had an appointment 8th of December, I've got another appointment now on the 15th of January. And what it is I'll go in and I'll speak to them, and I have my own worker there, and they'll turn around and they'll help me. And what they're going to try and start doing is try to get me somewhere to work that at first it's not as, I was going to say like exhausting or whatever, but as long as it's not like I'm having to use as much energy as what I don't really want to, because I'm so used to, at the moment, being sat down most of the day, trying to make money for somewhere to stay, or lay down most of the night, half awake, half asleep, because I'm sleeping rough. So I'd rather they'll give me somewhere to stay, try and find me some work where I'll start off at a lower thing, where I'm sat behind a desk maybe, where I can just use fingers instead of my thumb. Use fingers to type. That's what I'm hoping to try to do. And then once I get through that, hopefully, try to get to use my thumb a bit more and a bit more and a bit more, to the stage where I end up building up, in other words, bit by bit by bit by bit, and going through back to what I want to do. And hopefully by then I'll have my own place. By then.
How are you feeling talking about all this?
It's not good. It's not good. It's not nice. No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. I don't know. It's not. I don't enjoy it. I wish I could go back 10 years knowing what I know now, what he did. I really do. And I'd love to just start again. But I mean, even if I know I can't start again, I'd love to be given the opportunity now. Start afresh now. Even though I know what has happened in the past, I want the opportunity now to start again. I try myself. People might look at it as if I'm not trying by sitting down and begging. I'm not attempting to get myself out of the way or to get myself into the right way of life again. People might think that, but in my eyes, people don't understand that until they've been there themselves and they've lived that life and gone through it. Okay, they've gone the right way in life and done that. I might have gone the wrong way when I was younger, and it's happened the way it has. But I have had other problems. I'm not blaming, but I'm just saying I have had problems that I've also associated with problems that I've caused to myself as well, which has made it twice as bad to bring me to where I am now.
So lack of accommodation is the biggest challenge for you, isn't it? So, but the volunteers at the homeless hub have
It's times like this now. It's times like this now when you can't.
Well,
When you can't.
so you're going to have 3 days accommodation.
Bless you.
How does that feel?
How does it feel? Oh. I tell you what, I could stand up, give you the biggest hug, the biggest kiss, lift you off the floor, spin you around in bits, and put you back down, and then say, thank you very much. But it wouldn't mean that. It'd mean jumping up, giving you a hug, spinning you around, giving you the big kiss, jumping up and down, hey! Because that's exactly how it means to me and how it makes me feel. And I'm not just saying that because I'm speaking to you now on camera and I'm speaking to you, talking to you and giving you an interview. But the simple thing is exactly how I feel. Knowing damn well that I don't have to come back out tomorrow and sit here and make up enough money to stay for another night, and the day after to make up to stay for another night, because I know I've got somewhere to stay now for 3 nights. And like I say, when you're there for one night, you come out in the morning, and when you come out, when you have to leave in the morning, you back out, and that's it. You're out for the day, and that's me. I have to make up then. That gives me that day to make money to go back for that evening to stay there again that night time. But knowing that I've got enough now for 3 nights, I don't have to come out tomorrow morning at all.
So what will you get up to then for the next 3 nights?
More than likely.
Days as well.
Well, the next 3 nights, I'll be sleeping there, definitely. But the days, during the days, more than likely, I'll probably sleep until dinner time. Yeah, at the moment. With it being tomorrow, especially with it being Sunday and nowhere being open. Normally, when you're only there for the day, for the night, you're used to be up early and you're to be out for a certain time in the mornings. But when they know, and because they put notes on your door saying that you're there for however long, until what date you're there till, you know what I mean, from until. And the thing is, I know now that I'm there for 3 nights. I know that I'm not going to get that knock in the morning. Andrew, come on, you got to get yourself ready, it's time to leave. You know, something like that. I know I'm not going to get that tomorrow now. I know that I'm just going to be able to lie there, stand up, put the TV on low, lie there in bed still and just watch TV. Make as many cups of tea and as many cups of chocolate as I want all day long and just lie there and watch TV. Alright, pal. Alright. And lie there and watch TV from bed and then even fall back to sleep, knowing that I'm not, if I did have my own place, knowing that I'm not wasting my own electric, even that makes me feel good in a way, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they don't mind at all, the people whose place it is. But,
Okay.
yeah.
So finally then,
If it wasn't for people like you, yourself, and for the hub, the place that you work,
the homeless hub,
God knows, it'd be so, it's so hard to explain, but it would be so hard to, there'd be so many more people around the town in my situation, because I do know people that have been in my situation and speaking to me when they passed me, when I've been like, Andy, why don't you do this? Why don't you go and speak to these? Why don't you try and sort this out? Look at me, I used to be like you, Andy. Why don't you try and sort it? And I go, I do, I'm trying. And I say to him, remember before you did get your head together, before you did eventually get sorted out, and they'd go, yeah. I go, well, just think, before then, how long did it take you? How long did you have to try before you actually got yourself together? And they'd look at me and go, yeah, I see what you're saying. because then they understand that's what I'm going through at the moment. Trying now again and again and again until I get to that stage where I'm there. It's not far from now. Oh, well, I was hoping to get there for Christmas, but I don't think I will do now. But there's only I think it's either 2 or 3 on the list. I'm 2nd or 3rd on the list, I think I am now, with the bond board.
It's taken a while though, hasn't it? You've been on the streets for
yeah.
on and off for about 5 years.
Oh yeah, well it's about 4.5, 5 years
yeah.
now, yeah. But that's on and off. I've been on the streets, staying here and there, and then I've stayed at a friend's here, a friend's there for a night or 2, a friend's there, sofa surfing as you call it, here, there and everywhere. And then once you stayed at so many different friends, again, you feel horrible having to go and knock back on again. I know I only stayed here a couple of weeks ago for a couple of nights. Can you pause up again for a couple of nights? You feel horrible asking again and again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try to find myself, well I do find myself trying to stand, it sounds horrible this, but I find myself trying to stand near where people who I know have got their own place, even though I know they've only got a 1-bedroom flat with a child. I find myself standing sometimes of an evening or tea time, roaming around up and down their street, hoping that the man or woman will come out to the bus shop, pass me, hiya Andy, and I go, hiya, whoever it is I'm talking to. How are you? You alright? Open that, what you up to? I go, oh no, I'm just mooching about. What are you staying tonight? And I tell them, oh, come back to me. Open that door off of me before I have to ask. I find myself doing that, which makes me feel horrible as well, but when the weather's like it is now, there's nothing else that I find being able to do. And with all the other hostels, with the weather being so cold, all the other hostels are all full. It's so hard to find somewhere, and it doesn't matter, you get people who book places, they'll book somewhere to stay, and while they've got somewhere to book, and then when you turn up and say, hiya, have you got any rooms for tonight? And they go, no, I'm sorry, we're booked up. Can I book a room for tomorrow night then? And they go, okay, and then you book a room for the night after, and then when you do go the night after, they say, oh, I'm sorry, you could have stayed last night because such a person didn't come back last night even though he booked the room. That doesn't annoy you. You know what I mean? When they book the room but don't turn up, someone else could have that room. That is it's exclusive. Oh, it's so annoying. It really does. It does.
So our final Christmas message to the volunteers at the Homeless Hub or anyone else watching this?
Oh, thank you. Extremely. I'm not just putting this on, but seriously, thank you extremely for all the help that you all give me. I've had help, I'm sure, everybody who helps the homeless in Marshall Town Centre. I'm sure I have had help of each and every one of these, although some of these help me a lot more than others. You, one of the main ones, if not the one that helps me the most. And I'm not just saying that again because you stood in front of me. I totally mean that. And I'm telling the gospel truth there. I really do mean that. Nobody else does that for me. Walking past, helping me, taking me shopping, buying me clothes, buying me deodorants and shampoos and toiletries, and nobody does things like that for me at all. Nobody. Get the odd people now and again that might come past and give me, yeah, here's £4, here's £5, and the odd person now and again who might go like, yeah, get yourself something to eat and a warm drink and give me a tenner or something. But people like yourself who do what you do, and they say, here, get yourself off the streets for a few nights and then take me shopping and buy me things. Take me for something. Sorry. But don't get people like that round here. I know obviously that the people that you work for are doing their job and you're taking it to your heart to do what they want and what you want to do yourself. And I just find myself so lucky to be the one. I really do. I find myself so lucky to be the one that don't take this the wrong way, but to be the one that you stopped to talk to. It looks like you took a liking to me. I took a great liking to you, not for the help, but you're a lovely lady, as you are. It seems to get on great enough with you. But you just don't get people. Sometimes when it is so quiet on the streets, people walking past, and I go like that, and it's so quiet, and nobody stops to be generous and give me a bit of change or something. I do find myself now and again, excuse me, could you spare a little bit of change, please? Just because I have nothing and I know that I'm not going to get nothing unless I do ask, because it's so quiet. I do find myself doing that now and again. But what upsets me the most is I'd rather people walk past if I asked them, if I was to mention it, rather than I'd rather them say, no, I'm sorry, or no, I haven't, rather than just total ignorance. They've not even heard me. It's totally blank. I'm not there. Just constant walk past. I'd rather them turn around and say, F off to me. Sorry, but I'd rather them turn around and say that to me, rather than just totally ignore me and just walk past as if I don't even exist.
It's hard, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been very hard. I just hope it gets so much better. I can see it getting better now. From what it was at one point to what it is now. It just seems to be getting a bit better. I just hope it does get that way and it carries on that way. And I get to what it is I want.
Well, we'll be here to help you where we can.
Over talking to you. I really do. I'm being serious. I really do appreciate your help. Totally. You're very, very kind. And like I said, this isn't the first time either. I really do thank you.
So shall we get you off the streets for the night then? You ready for it?
Let's get going.
Let's go.
Thank you very, very much. Thanks for spending the time. Thanks for spending the time.
My
to
pleasure.
talk
It's
to
been
me
great.
as well.
Come on then.
Thanks for it. The weight of the bag. This is all kind of like the weight of this. Go on. Can't. I couldn't hold it up that much longer because of the weight of what she's helped me with today, what she's bought me today, as well as helped me to get somewhere to stay for a few nights. Oh, obviously you don't get people like you do.